Yes, it's recording is in progress. So I am Amber J, source goddess of, well, Goddess Process is the parent company. I run a goddess tribe of magical women. Right now, we're in the middle of I have a signature spark program, S, self-care, P, prosperity, R, relationships, and C, community contribution. And we are in the middle of a 30-day intensive as we speak. We're going into week 3, which is relationships. Last week was off the charts, prosperity. We had people bringing in large sums of money. We had relationships healing. There was magic that was palpable. Like this, it's no joke. And then we're about to go into, well, in the new year, we're going into the Women on Fire Mastermind, which is a 7-month mastermind, 3 months on, 1 month off to integrate, and 3 months on to take it to the next level. So today we are talking about the Scorpio New Moon, which is happening on November 4th, 2021, November 4th, 2021, Scorpio New Moon. And with any new moon, it is about rebirthing. It is about, well, it's about planting seeds. It is about getting clear on what we want and using the darkness of the new moon to plant those seeds, to enrich the soil, which we'll talk about in a hot minute. And any of our goddess churches, I hold these goddess churches, which are new moon and full moon. We do the 3 C's, which is clearing, clarity, and committed action. And they sometimes move in the order, but clarity in what I want, need, or desire supports the universe bringing it to me quicker, faster, when I am aligned with what I am desiring, not just pie in the sky, although I like big, bold requests from the universe. Because if you think of it, it's already yours. You're like, I'm not having the same thoughts as you're having, as your partner's having, as your children are having. That if those ideas, thoughts, and desires come into your presence, into your being, they're meant for you. Nobody else is having that specific vision. And that's the opportunity to take a deeper cut of like, what does it look like for you? What is the texture of it? What is the color? What is the song of your manifestation? You know, one time a coach asked me when I was calling in love, like what are the songs that represent the different phases of it? And so I created a playlist of it, and it brings me so much joy when I play that playlist. So what is the texture, taste? What would be on the menu of this want, need, or desire? So this month, this Scorpio new moon is all about rebirthing, new intentions to set. And it invites us to look back a year ago. A year ago, I was going to Sedona, Arizona on a crazy road trip. It was my first deep dive into crazy crystals and magical vortexes. So it's an invitation to notice the changes you have made. This is one of the things we do in the Spark 30 Day, is to reflect after the week. So we're looking at reflecting over the past year, how far you have come or grown, the things or people or places or beliefs that you've let go of, the things you've learned in this room alone, in this space, on this journey. What have you learned? Writing those things down. I mean, there have been quantum leaps since November of 2020. Here we are in November of 2021. You have thrived in a pandemic. You have set new beliefs. Maybe you've moved. Maybe you've released people. Maybe you've called people in. So the invitation is, number one, to write these things down. how far I've come, the changes I have made. And the Scorpio, we kind of talk, or I vision, I see the vision as a snake, right? As a shedding of the skin, releasing what no longer serves, and acknowledging that growth. Like you no longer fit in that skin that you were in November 2020. Am I right or am I right? Can I get an amen? I couldn't feel that more. You are a different molecular being today than you were then. So it is the opportunity to reflect on that. Things are speeding up right now. I don't know if you know this, but like we're quantum leaping. We can see that in this room. You can see that in this space on this journey. It is not a time to hold back. It is a time to lean in, to go all in. But the kind of caveat is to be flexible with myself and others. It may not look like what I crafted it to look like. Boy, I just noticed this everywhere now. I step out, I create a declaration, you know, like I declared my king at my birthday party. And wow, that came in very different roots. And the experience of it wasn't forever. It is a moment in time. And maybe it comes back around, but to have appreciation for that journey and for the love that's exchanged, and then not being attached or have expectations, because as we talked about, expectations are the thief of joy. So stepping into being flexible with myself and others. Oh, that just making life so much more in the flow, ease and flow. All right, number 2, surround yourself with like-minded friends, family. The big word here is community, 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 and that will come back. That is a theme, that is a request, that is basically a requirement of the last 2 months of this year. It is all about community, community, community. How is my community? Is my community in alignment? Finding a community that I align with, a community that invigorates me, that inspires me, that expands what I already know, that supports me in this journey and what I'm creating in the world. So write down community, put it on a Post-it note, stick it in your car, stick it in your bathroom when you're getting ready. Community, community, community. Now, here is this is the caveat here, the warning, if you will, is buy the book. So the buy the book is, where do I have limiting beliefs on how it's supposed to be? Okay. How is it supposed to be what I think it's always been? If you hear yourself, this is such a good way. If you hear yourself go, well, that's how we've done it. That's how we do it. That's just how we do it here. That's just how it's been done. That is BS. That is fear keeping you stuck, keeping you in the linear, keeping you in a already always listening versus a expansive new possibility way of thinking. Now, we talk about this, about keeping us safe, right? It's our ego coming in, keeping us safe, keeping us in the known. But right now, and as we traverse into this new time, new space and time in our lives, on the planet, in our physical bodies, it is time to let it go. To just notice when I'm saying, well, that's how we've always done it. That's a moment, that's an opportunity to look at that area and possibly dismantle it. Question, why? Why is that always like that? It doesn't have to be that for me. Is there another possibility? Oh, the ding, ding, ding here is asking us to harness your mystical powers. So notice where you are, I mean, especially as the divine feminine, when we are tapped into our womb space, our creation, our sacral and our root chakras, we can tap into our internal and eternal knowing and how we have these mystical creative gifts. This new moon beckons that from us. It calls that forth. Honing your mystical powers. So write mystical powers down. That just gets me excited. There is a message coming about a relationship, and you will get highlights on these relationships and whether this will support you in choosing, is this relationship serving me? This is one of the tools we use in the Spark program and what we're hopping into today. Those who are in Spark, spoiler alert, who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Are those relationships serving you? Do you get to go deeper and nurture and nourish those relationships? Or are you holding on to a past that no longer is relevant on your path? Are you still hanging out with your high school best friend, and your high school best friend isn't in alignment with what you are up to in the world? Do you get to create space for new community, new persons who are in alignment with your needs, wants, desires? So that's the invitation here. And you'll start to get little indicators about this. So just notice, just hear like, oh, that's not in alignment. Oh, I didn't realize they believed that. Maybe asking your top 5 what their beliefs are. See where you are aligned or not aligned. Number 3, big changes are a coming. We know this is coming. We know what this is. You can feel it. Raise your hand or indicate in the comments, telepathically send me your you know when something gets to change. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's your environment, maybe it's your diet. You know when changes are coming. You get to move. It's time to move. Why do we fight it? Well, we fight it because it's uncomfortable. We're stepping into the unknown. The opportunity here is to notice where there are changes happening in your life and to choose to surrender to it, to go with the flow, to allow the magic to illuminate the path as opposed to fighting it. We're just holding back the inevitable. So in this, if you choose to surrender, what we are doing is breaking the chains of our old beliefs, the things that tether us to the past, the things that no longer serve us. Yes, they may make us feel more comfortable or we think we're secure, but we're just prolonging what is inevitable, what's going to happen no matter what. And the opportunity is to open our hearts, open our minds, surrender, and be in flow. It will be so much easier. I promise. I can't promise it won't be difficult, that there won't be bumps in the road, as that's part of our life's journey, but that we get to lean into it. Maybe there is a relationship, maybe our marriage hasn't evolved with us the way we're awakening to. And not that they're bad, good, right, or wrong in any way, shape, or form. They may just not be going with us on this next phase of our personal journey. And we can still love them and not be in that kind of relationship with them. Opening the space up. All right. breaking the chain of old beliefs. This can be also our ancestral wounds, which we on Thursday this week in Daily Kickstart, we have Pamela Pearson, the Abundance Catalyst, who will come in and dismantle, release our ancestral blocks. What will those changes look like? Well, I told you it was coming back around. One is community. Immersing yourself in community. Did I mention community? Because I meant community. This new moon is about community. Number two, it's about regeneration. This is under the big changes are coming. So regeneration, taking time for yourself. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. And number three is infinite abundance. We live in an abundant universe. The number is 8. Honoring the shadow and the light. 8, we sit here in the infinite abundance. The next 2 months, focusing on community. All right. 4th and last point is cleansing. Oh, well, here's the invitation. Clear your space. Where are you keeping junk? That can be internal junk. That can be your house. Some tools to use, obviously sage or Palo Santo. One of the tools I like to use is putting salt in the corners of the room throughout my house and then sweeping out so the salt absorbs the negative energies, the things that are stuck, and sweeping it out the front door. So taking everything towards the main portal of your house and sweeping it out the front of your house, clearing a space. If you're calling in love, clear a drawer, a space in your closet for a partner that is appropriate, because this is one of the things that is coming in, that we're in a new relationship cycle. So clear the space. Goddess soaks in salts, sea salts, Epsom salts, salty salts. Take time, cleanse, reset, rejuvenation. Regeneration, cleansing. November is a purging month. You need lots of sleep. Your body is recalibrating. Drink lots of water. It is a season of death and rebirth. We talk about the sacred tree in the Spark program. We talked about it here of, your roots in the ground. They take the nutrients from Mother Earth, the wisdom, bringing it up the trunk of your tree as ideas. This is the gnosis coming into the knowing. And then when it's ready to be birthed into the space, that is spring and then summer in its full expression. But like a tree, we get to release the leaves when it becomes fall. We're in fall into winter. What leaves do we get to release? What deaths get to happen? Whether that's old beliefs, we're releasing relationships that no longer serve us, allowing those leaves to fall to the tree. It is season. It is natural. That is what we are meant to do. Letting those leaves fall off because they create space for what's next. Having those leaves transmute into nutrients in the ground that fortify the next cycle, the next season. So we are in the season of death and rebirth, releasing those leaves that no longer serve us. We are in a new relationship cycle. That could be friends. That could be new leaders, coaches, inspiration, gurus, guides, or lovers. New relationship cycles. So the question is, are you open to that? Your commitment is being tested. So your commitment to your growth, to your expansion, may be tested at this time. Are you really doing the work? Are you buying the crystals but not doing the meditation and sitting with them? Do they look pretty in your house, but you're not really using them, stepping into them? This is the invitation to ask the question. What am I committed to? And you get to go a little deeper. I'm almost complete. I know I've been talking a really long time. I hope this is serving you. Come back. Let's go. Oh, good. Okay, good. We're almost done. All right. So communication is key. Ooh, it's of course so potent and powerful. It is Relationships Week in our Spark program in the 30-day, and communication is key. Vulnerably, open-heartedly, it is my belief and that the divine feminine is the consciousness of the planet. We are the ones that hold the space for the masculine to open our hearts. What that means is we get to go first, is we are the presence of love. We are open-hearted. We vulnerably share. We are the ones that know when things are not aligned, when nature is out of alignment, when communication is out of alignment, when our hearts are out of alignment. That's our gut. That's why we trust our gut, our intuition. The feminine tends to be, and this is the truth, pretty capital they're masculine who have this, but definitely the divine feminine is more tuned in general, to their intuition. And that is trust. Now we get to trust it. If something is out of alignment, now we get to communicate it. We've been stuffed down or told not to for so long. And that's a witch wound. That's a good girls don't. And fortunately and unfortunately, we get to go first. We get to speak out. We get to say, hey, this doesn't feel right. This is out of alignment, because that is truly our gift, is that internal and eternal knowing. So communication is key. How deep can you go? When I don't communicate, it is in essence lying. I am not being my truthful full self if I am fitting myself into cultural norms, into what I think my partner wants or needs, or my boss wants or needs. So I just invite you to look at, where am I lying? And when I put it like that, I know it's super triggering, because you're like, well, I'm preserving others' feelings. Well, you're also lying to them. You're lying to them because they think everything's okay with you, when in fact it's not. When in fact what they're doing is not okay with you. So the invitation, and I know it's not easy. It is not easy. That's why we come into circles like this, in order to talk it out, to work it out and go, oh, this doesn't feel good. I don't know what to do with this. We weren't given a manual. Our parents did the best they could to get us to here, and here we are. Hallelujah. Congratulations. You got this far. Good job. And there are more tools out there. So and you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. That's get a women's group, get a safe space that you can come to, whether that's Goddess Tribe, whether it's this room, whether it's your church community, whether you have a knitting circle, whatever that is. I invite you to find community. Did I mention community? All right. The last point on here that I want to really drive home, and then I'm going to open it up and to Jess to share insights and tools that can support us in this Scorpio new moon, is blame. Watch out for blame, because that is, I'm 100% responsible for 100% of my results. So blame doesn't even get to exist in my world. It's, where am I at cause of this result? And if I want a different result, how do I get to show up in a way that shifts? It goes back to communication. It goes back to authenticity of sharing my wants, needs, and desires, as opposed to wishing or telepathically sending someone. Now we can definitely energetically send others what we want, need, and desire, but we can also communicate it one-to-one. Relationships are where we grow. We really can't avoid relationships. So it's an opportunity to lean into the relationships we have and go deeper. Ooh, that's where the juice is. So the mantra is, I am attracted to those people who are for my highest good, are here for my highest good. I am attracted to those people who are here for my highest good. That is your prescription for this Scorpio new moon happening November 4th, 2021. Boom.